Taurus293 back here once again for week 3 of the NPL. So this week we're going up against our good friend Baton Mash BM. He's off to a little bit of a middling start, similar to how we're off to kind of a middling start right now, starting 0-2. He's starting 1-1 with an unfortunate loss last week. But this week we ourselves are hoping to cop our first win and finally put ourselves on the board. Unlike last week, we actually have a slightly favorable matchup here. And I think we have a decent chance in this game. The first thing I'm going to talk about is what each of my sets are. If you want the actual EVs and everything, that'll be linked in the description. So the first thing I realized was that Lando with Rock Polish kind of just goes in on his team. I can EQ on a lot of stuff, especially in his Metagross, and he has minimal resists, except he has immunity in Aerodactyl, and he has resist in Tangrowth. But my solution to that is I'm running Z-Fly to beat the Tangrowth, and then I have Stone Edge to beat the Aerodactyl. I ran enough speed, so I think at +2 speed, I was able to outspeed most of his mons. Gallade here is just a classic Swords Dance 3 attack sets with a combination of knockoff, Psycho Cut so I don't miss, and close combat. I'm able to really decimate a lot of his team. Then I have Seismitoad. Seismitoad is my dedicated Aerodactyl switch-in, and I guess in this matchup too, the Metagross switch-in. So I really want to be able to switch into both of those two things. It's a huge problem for my team. And Seismitoad is also my dedicated rocker, so I'm going to be trying to get rocks up at some point in this game. They don't help too much, but again, it doesn't always hurt to get rocks up because he didn't bring some mons like Blaziken and stuff like that, or stuff that would be more like a U-turn. His only major U-turn mon that I can see here is Zoroark. So yeah, I don't know how useful Seismitoad will actually be here. Durant here, as you can see, kind of just goes in. I'm running a Life Orb, Jolly attack set with X-Scissor, Iron Head, Aerial Ace, and Agility. And it really just goes in this game. If you look, most of his mons, Metagross is easily 2-hit KO'd, Zoroark is 1-hit KO'd, Aerodactyl is 1-hit KO'd, Keldeo is 1-hit KO'd if we get rocks up, Tangrowth is 1-hit KO'd, and Mew is 1-hit KO'd. So Durant just goes absolutely in this game. Starmie is more of it's a slightly defensive set here to be able to sponge some hits from things like Keldeo, and it actually also lives a Stone Edge from Aerodactyl, which is very nice, but its main objective here is Rapid Spin. I'm running Mystic Water on it because I'm going to be spamming Hydro Pump a lot, and it's able to hit things a lot harder than before. I'm also running Psychic just for supplementary recovery, be able to hit things like his potential Toxapex and his Keldeo. And then I'm also running Rapid Spin because I don't want to have rocks on my side because they could chip me down a lot. Especially because I'm running a U-turn Crobat here, which has Life Orb, it has Brave Bird, really trying to deal with the Keldeo and the Tangrowth. It's also able to U-turn really nicely on a lot of his mons. And then I ran Roost and Defog just for reliable recovery, and so I can get rid of the rocks on his team. So the potential mons he brought Mew, Tangrowth, Keldeo, Aerodactyl, Zoroark, or Metagross. The other mons that I thought were possible was I thought Toxapex was could be very likely to come to this game. I understand why I didn't though, because Landorus and Gallade for my first two picks kind of ripping a new one. Especially Starmie can do that too. And when I have my own wall, my water wall Seismitoad, and it's able to wall his Toxapex, there's not much use to actually bringing Toxapex because of that. Other than that, I thought he could have brought Blaziken here. That was going to be another thing that Seismitoad would have had to wall, but I guess Starmie, Crobat, they all do a really good job on that. I was expecting some hard prep for the Durant. It seems he didn't really bring anything that covers the Durant too well. I did not expect Metagross. I expected Blaziken to cover Durant or Toxapex, a mon like that, potentially a Dugtrio, to kind of help him deal with problems like Durant. But instead he brought Metagross, which is really nice for me. So at this lead matchup, I'm really deliberating between two mons. I kind of want to just bring in Crobat because I can kind of U-turn against anything or Brave Bird. The only thing is I'm thinking that the likely leads are either Aerodactyl or Scarf Zoroark, right? I think those have to be. I think Scarf Zoroark looked absolutely phenomenal in this game, so I'm predicting that to most likely come. He'd also bring Scarf Keldeo, but I'm thinking he's only going to bring one of those two Scarf mons. So at this point, I'm really deliberating between both of them, because if he's Scarf Zoroark or Aerodactyl, Crobat kind of just gets fucked, and I don't want to have Crobat get messed up this early in the game. But if I lead Durant, if he leads Aerodactyl, I think he's very unlikely to actually click a Fire-type move. I think it makes much more sense for him to just set up rocks here, as I'm pressured out for the Fire-type move, and I can just click Iron Head and get rid of his biggest threat to my team turn 1. Then also with Zoroark, I can X-Scissor that turn 1 and kill it, or with Keldeo, I could Aerial Ace that turn 1 and kill it. So I'm going to put it on really slow so we can start doing this, but I ended up leading with my Durant here. Because I wanted to have a favorable matchup. Maybe we'll put it on slow. That's a little too slow. So I lead Durant here, and he leads Keldeo. So I thought about this play for a while. I knew he was either Keldeo, in which case most likely Scarf Keldeo, or he was most likely Scarf Zoroark here. So really here I had two main choices. I was deliberating between clicking Aerial Ace or X-Scissor, right? And this was a really hard choice for me. I didn't really know what I wanted to click here, and it was really hard, because if he is Zoroark and I click Aerial Ace here and he is Scarf, then that does a lot to my then he can do a lot to my Durant, and I'm not doing as much as I should in return. If we can just go to the calc quickly, and I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see, but if I put in my Durant set and I put in his Zoroark set, Aerial Ace is still doing a large chunk. But the thing is, I just wanted to be able to, I wanted to kind of net a kill here. So I was really deciding between Aerial Ace and X-Scissor. And at the end, I decided to go for X-Scissor, because I thought it's more likely he leads Zoroark. I think Keldeo has a lot more potential here as his Z user, because Keldeo is his Zmon here. Zoroark is also a Zmon, but I thought one of them was going to be Z, and one of them was going to be Scarf, and I thought looking at the matchup, Keldeo just had a greater potential to be a Zmon. So I'm going to end up clicking X-Scissor here. And he does reveal to be the Zoroark, which is amazing for us. He fires off the Dark, and we get flinched. So, that's huge. You're going to see it come back into play later. If we connected the X-Scissor here, which I admit is only an 80% chance, we kill it, right? Zoroark drops turn 1. And that's going to be absolutely great for us, because when Zoroark drops, it allows Starmie, Crobat, it allows everything to just come in more easily, especially because I didn't bring a Scarf on my team, so Zoroark is currently the fastest mon on the field. Killing Zoroark here really just would have been absolutely amazing. And even if I didn't kill him, getting damage on this Zoroark is pivotal, right? Because later in the game, if I'm trying to sweep at something, just having damage on it is going to end up helping with that. So this really sucked. I was kind of frazzled by this at the start of the game, but I decided, okay, let's just play on. Let's see what he's going to go for next here. I know he went for Dark Pulse there. I know he's locked into Dark Pulse. So because I know he's locked in, I'm going to end up doubling into Lando. Or, sorry, I doubled into Gallade here, sorry, because I want to get the justified boost. And he predicts that perfectly. He ended up going Aerodactyl. He kind of optimizes on my choke. I really should have just clicked Iron Head there again, because Durant really can't do much in this game now, but I ended up going Gallade instead, which was not the play. And at this point, I'm forced out, but this is perfectly fine with me, because Seismitoad is my dedicated check to this. So I'm just going to go right into Seismitoad. He Mega Evolves, and he just takes the great opportunity to go for Aerial Ace, which is really nice here, and I'm going to show him that I have leftovers, right? So at this point, I was deliberating the play. I was like, okay, I can either go for Scald, I can go for Stealth Rocks, or I can switch out. I realized here, I think he's probably going to go Tangrowth. Why don't I just switch out to Landorus? So I do that, and I see, fuck, he stays in. Is he going to go for Ice Fang here and be a god and predict? Luckily, he does not. He gets Rocks up, which is not a huge problem, because I have Starmie and Crobat who can get rid of them. At this point, I'm predicting he probably stays in and goes for Ice Fang, which I live now because I intimidated him. I wouldn't have lived 2 Ice Fangs. That's why I was scared of him going for the Ice Fang on the switch. So now I'm just going to fire off a pretty free Stone Edge. And as you see, unfortunately, we missed this. So this is going to be a pretty constant thing throughout the game. Us not being on the lucky side here, which is really unfortunate for us. But it's okay. It's not too big of a deal against Tangrowth, because we wouldn't have been doing too much to Tangrowth anyway. But here, I took one of my first timeouts of the game. So, let me go back to the last turn. Yeah, I took one of the first timeouts of the game. Basically, in the NPL system, when someone turns a timer on you, you're allowed to take timeouts. And I think for 5 minutes, they can't turn timer back on you. So I have Z Fly, as I said earlier, and I could click it right here, but I'm thinking he's much more likely, in actuality, to want to. I think he's much more likely here to scout for the Z Fly and go into Aerodactyl, right? So either he can go into Aerodactyl here or Mew. Those are the two switch-ins I'm really thinking are likely here. And I'm thinking, especially too, I could trick him into thinking I'm Scarf here if I switch out. And making him think I'm Scarf Lando in this matchup could be very nice. Especially because, why would I bring Landorus in on Aerodactyl if I'm not Scarf? Because if I'm Scarf Lando, I can just kill him straight up right there. Which also means that he's much more pressured with his Lando. So I'm trying to bluff the Scarf here. I'm just going to go into Durant. If he ends up hard switching out, I'm in a great position. If not, unfortunately, I lose my Durant. Oh, that was a similar turn, sorry. So now I switch out to Durant. And as you see, he optimizes on that and he clicks HP Ice. Pretty big choke on my part. If I had stayed on the Lando and just Z flied him, he would have been dead. But that's okay. Losing Durant at this point because of the Rocks Up and Life Orb, I was only going to be able to get one hit off. As I said, Durant is really good, but it's only really good if I can get multiple hits off. And the fact that I can't here really hurts me. So now Durant goes down early game. This really sucks, but I have a pretty free switch here on a Crobat now. I'm just going to take the opportunity to defog. I don't think he's staying in, and I predict that right. So I go for the defog here, pretty free. Right now, I'm just free to go for a U-turn against this Metagross. I do, and I realize my best switch in here is Starmie, since I'm fairly bulky. He tries to go for the Zen Headbutt here. The miss means literally nothing, just because I'm bulky. I would have ate that up easily. I guess he would have found out a little bit about my bulk if that had happened, which I guess would have been nice for him, but I don't think that mattered too much. Here I'm going to fire off a Mystic Water Hydro Pump. That does a lot, which is really nice for me. I think he was a roll to kill, but it must have been heavily in his favor, from what I understand. So here he's going to launch a Thunder Punch, and I thankfully lived that, and here I know a Psychic will just kill him off, so I'm just going to kill off this Metagross. And he is a really easy switch into this, which is just what I presume to be his Zoroark. I predict that, and I go into Landorus here because I know he has to U-turn. That's just his best play here. He does end up U-turning, and this is nice because I know I bait in the Tangrowth because he thinks I'm Scarf. And I really don't have a way to hit it if I'm Scarf. So at this point, I slam the Z-Fly button, and we're able to claim a kill here. Bluffing the Scarf worked perfectly, and we were able to eliminate that Tangrowth, who was a huge wall to our team. With Tangrowth gone, I'm feeling really good here. Yeah, it just feels really good. At this point, I was really thinking, like, do I preserve Lando or do I sack it? But I was like, no, there's no point sacking a Lando at this point. So I'm just going to hard switch into Starmie, because I feel Starmie walls this thing to some aspect. He goes for Willow here, which is great for me. I'm picking between Recover and Hydro Pump. I end up going with the Hydro Pump just because I want to get damage off on him. So I fire off a Hydro Pump first. That does 50, which is really good for me. But he just roosts here. So I'm like, okay, great. You can roost. I'm going to recover because I'm just on the better end of this. So I recover the first time, and he goes for Roost again, which is not optimal for him. And at this point, I'm just going to fire off another Hydro Pump. And here we see the one part of hacks which is beneficial for us. You will see later in this game, this hacks didn't matter at all. It literally made no difference. I 2-hit KO'd him either way, and other things in my team could have tripped him off, whether I got this crit or whether I didn't. But I guess it's nice I got a crit here. And now he's able to fire off a Shadow Ball. So, there were rolls he could have got here, right? And the maximum roll was 54%. If he had got any other roll, we would have lived the burn damage. And then I could have used this Starmie a lot later, right? It's just a really good mod, especially to Rapid Spin. But no, we are now killed by the burn. So, that's extremely unfortunate for us. I can go to Crobat here knowing that U-turn's a pretty free play. And now I can just U-turn into the Seismitoad. And I think this is where the biggest choke of the game happens for me. I need to set up rocks here, right? Because how I win this game is either by Gallade setting up and winning, in which I don't really need rocks, but it would be nice to have, or Landorus winning. And for Landers to win, if the Zoroark is very bulky, there's a chance if the roll doesn't go, or if there's a roll to kill them, where 5 rocks is a guaranteed kill. But instead here, I just want to assess the threat really quickly, so I just go straight for a Scald. I'm hoping for a burn here. We don't get a burn. And at this point, I should have clicked rocks here. Like, really, this was just free to click rocks. I thought he was going to swap here, but I was thinking that the Scald would get... I thought if he was going to swap here, he's either swapping to Mew, or... I don't know. Okay, here was my thought process behind the play. I thought he was going to swap to Mew here, and then roost up on this thing, because I can't really beat it, and then he has a full HP Mew again. So I didn't want to give him that opportunity, so I thought I'd Scald again here. But if I just set up my rocks here, I would have got the extra damage I need on a lot of things. Instead, he does a ballsy play, and he stays in, and he sacks his arrow. Very good play on his part. I should have just set up rocks here. We could have seen a very different game if I had set up rocks. Down goes the arrow, and at this point, I'm thinking he's going to send Mew in just to roost, but he doesn't. He sends in Keldeo, which was really weird to me. I was thinking this is the actual Keldeo, because Zoroark's not doing much to the Seismitoad, and I thought he was going to go for like Bloom or something, but he goes for Z Rain Dance, and this is very interesting. I'm going to fire off an Earthquake here. At this point, I realize I died to an HP Grass, but I'm willing to sack my Mon, so I sack Seismitoad. And at this point, I'm going to send in Gallade. Gallade is guaranteed to live a hit, and I'm just going to Psychic Cut it, right? Like, I'm guaranteed to live a hit no matter what, unless he doesn't crit me, and then I can just Psycho Cut and kill him. So that's what I'm going to do here. He surfs me, I live it, and then I Psycho Cut. And down goes the Keldeo, and now he has an opportunity to send in Zoroark. So Zoroark comes in at 100% HP, and I'm going to let him kill me off with the Dark Pulse. Because now I'm just going to go Lando. Lando guarantee lives a Dark Pulse, and then Earthquake, as long as he's not bulk invested, just kills him, right? Like 100% of the time, there's no roll, I just kill him now. So I go into Landorus, and he goes for Dark Pulse. We don't get flinched. I go for the EQ, and he lives. Would have been great to see this thing dead turn 1. Yeah, he lives. Which is not good for me. It's not good for me at all. And this really just means the end of the game. Because, as you can see, Dark Pulse at 46 last time, so he can just Dark Pulse again, and then Dark Pulse the Crobat to kill it. And as you're going to see, that's going to be the end of the game. GG to BM. Yes, I got haxed, and I kind of do think I deserve to win the game. But, There were plays I could have made to go against the hacks. If I clicked rocks on that turn, if I hadn't brought in that Durant on the... Well, I guess arguably you can say the play was still to bluff Scarf with my Lando. But I think the biggest thing was not clicking rocks with my Seismitoad. But then again, that was a 50-50 in my opinion, and he ended up winning it. Very good on him. I was thinking he was going to switch into Mew there. I needed to kill him off with a Scald. I guess I made him think I didn't have rocks, because I probably would have clicked it earlier. So the play there probably was to click rocks. I regret not clicking it now. But at the same time, there was no way for me to anticipate the rolls of this game and the turn 1 flinch. Yeah, but I think also, like, with the turn 1 flinch, it would have been a completely different game then. He probably would have played differently, knowing that he doesn't have Zoroark anymore. Yeah, he most likely would have played differently, knowing he doesn't have Zoroark, because Zoroark was kind of a crutch for him in the back. So we are 0-3 minus 6 now. It's not very good. I think for the rest of the season, I'm gonna mostly be playing for fun. I mean, quite honestly, my goal is to get at least 1 win this season now. Since starting 0-3, it's gonna be really hard to come back. Like, I don't think I'm not gonna try in all my games. Okay, I will be trying very hard. It's just I think the best course of action for me at this point is to just try and have fun with all these games instead of going like try hard with them. Because as you can see here, you can put a lot of effort into a game and then end up being on the low end of some rolls and end up getting fucked over with some hacks, and then because of that, you get screwed over yourself. I don't blame BM in any way at all. I don't want to make it sound like that. He doesn't control a flinch. He doesn't control any of that stuff. So that's not his fault. I know BM's been recently his game against Spextar and LD. I'm not going to spoil that, but go to Spextar's channel if you want to watch that. He got kind of fucked over with hacks too. So it happens to everyone. I was just really hoping we could finally get our first win in this league here. But it's okay, right? Like, we're just going to bounce back. So next week we face D-Train, who I think when you guys are seeing this, he will be 2-0, maybe 3-0. I don't. I'm recording this like right after my game with BM, so the week 1 uploads or the week 2 uploads just came out now. So I don't know. I think he's 3-0 at this point. Go watch his game to find out. But that's going to be interesting. 3-0 versus 0-3. I'm still going to be trying in this league for sure. I've always wanted to be part of the NPL. It's not like I'm just giving up here. But I will be trying to have more fun with these teams a little bit. Overall, I'm very happy with how I played in this game. I think if some things went different, I could have won this game, which is very nice, and especially nice knowing against the caliber of a player like BM. He's a very good player, and it's nice to know that there's some things that I could have done differently that potentially would have given me the W here. I am very impressed with my prep, too. I did think that went pretty well, and I'm proud of how I played with that. But, yeah, I hope you guys had fun watching this. This was, regardless of everything that happened, this was a fun game for me to play. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone watching this. Go sub to BM for sure. Honestly, BM's content is like really, really good. Like, there are very few PokeTubers I still watch, and it's kind of just like BM, Aberforth, and like Specstar at this point. Like, those three, I feel their content is very good. So I would definitely go check out BM. You won't regret it. I'm assuming if you're here, you already know who BM is. But yeah, awesome. Awesome having you all here, and I will see you guys next week, same time, same place, with my week 4 game versus D-Train. Peace.